Top of the morning to you, laddies. My name is Frankie, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving headfirst, web slingers blazing, into the absolute best of the best Spider-Man games that feel like they were ripped straight from the pages of a comic book. We're talking about the games that truly get Spider-Man, the ones that capture that perfect blend of high-flying action, heartfelt story, that signature witty banter we all know and love. These are the games that make you feel like you are the friendly neighborhood wall crawler himself. Spider-Man is one of those timeless heroes, isn't he? Whether you're a kid just discovering the magic of his powers, or an adult who's been reading his adventures for decades, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and all the others. He's relatable, he's funny, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, but he never, ever gives up. It's that spirit, that core essence that makes him so special. And it's what we're looking for in the games we're about to talk about today. So get ready, because we're going on a journey, a glorious web-filled nostalgia trip through gaming history. Art styles, storylines, everything in between. We're counting down the top 8 Spider-Man games that are an absolute dream come true for any comic book fan. So grab your masks, get comfy, and let's swing right into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's go! Kicking off our list at number 8, we have to go back, way back, to the year 2000, Spider-Man on the original PlayStation. Oh, the memories. This game was a revelation for its time. The first truly three-dimensional Spider-Man experience that felt right. You could crawl on ceilings, you could web zip across rooftops. It was everything our little nerdy hearts desired. The graphics might look a bit chunky now, like a block of Lego cheese, but back then, pure magic. This game wasn't just about the gameplay. The story was pure comic book goodness, narrated by the one and only Stan Lee, Doc Ock, Venom, Mysterio, a bonkers plot, a symbiote invasion, a reformed Dr. Octopus, and non-stop classic villains. Like a year of comics crammed into one game. The collectibles, hunting for comic book covers, was a mission in itself. Made by fans, for fans, it laid the groundwork for what came next. If you're enjoying this, like, comment, and subscribe for more Spider-Man content. Coming in at number 7, we have the game that is, for many, the absolute greatest of all time. We're talking about Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in game that somehow became one of the greatest superhero games of all time. This game didn't just raise the bar, it strapped the bar to a rocket and launched it into another dimension. Why? One word: web swinging. My God, the web swinging in this game was a revolution. For the first time, your webs actually had to attach to buildings, physics. You could feel the momentum, the G-force, as you plummeted towards the street, only to shoot a web at the last second and swing up into the sky. It was pure, unadulterated joy. I spent hours, and I mean HOURS, just swinging around this massive open-world New York City, not even doing missions. It was the first game that didn't just let you play as Spider-Man, it let you be Spider-Man. But it wasn't just the swinging. The game had so much to do. You had the main story following the plot of the movie, which was great. But then you had the city itself. It was alive. You'd be swinging along and suddenly hear a cry for help. A purse snatching, a car chase, a construction worker about to fall. You had to make those classic Spidey choices. Do I continue my mission, or do I stop to help this person? It was the perfect embodiment of, with great power comes great responsibility. And let's not forget the pizza delivery missions. My pizza time. They were frustrating, they were hilarious, they were iconic. One minute you're battling Dr. Octopus on top of a moving train, the next you're worried about being late for a delivery. It perfectly captured that slice-of-life struggle that makes Peter so relatable in the comics. Spider-Man 2 set the gold standard for open-world superhero games, and its influence is still felt to this day. An absolute masterpiece. Alright, at number 6, we're diving into a game that looks like a comic book literally sprang to life on your screen. I'm talking about the one and only Ultimate Spider-Man. This game is just chef's kiss. The art style is the first thing that grabs you. It used this incredible cel-shaded technique that perfectly mimicked the art of Mark Bagley from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. The thick black lines, the vibrant colors, the dynamic panel-like cutscenes. It was visually stunning. The story was written by the comic's creator, Brian Michael Bendis himself. You can't get more authentic than that. It felt like a direct continuation of the comic book arc, picking up the story of Peter Parker and his childhood friend Eddie Brock and their connection to the Venom symbiote. It was a personal, character-driven story that felt incredibly faithful to the source material. It wasn't just a generic save-the-city plot. It was about the complex relationship between Peter and Eddie, and that made it so much more compelling. But here's the best part. The thing that made this game so unique: you didn't just play as Spider-Man. Oh no, you also got to play as Venom. And playing as Venom was a completely different experience. You weren't swinging gracefully through the city, you were a monster. A big hulking beast, leaping massive distances, smashing cars and, well, eating people to regain health. It was brutal. The contrast between Spidey's agile, acrobatic style and Venom's raw, destructive power was just brilliant. Switching between these two perspectives was what made the game so memorable. One moment you're trying to save lives as Spider-Man, the next you're causing absolute chaos as Venom. It gave you a full picture of the story from both sides. Number 5 on our list is a game that took the symbiote concept and, well, cranked it up to 11. Let's talk about the dark, gritty, and absolutely chaotic Spider-Man, Web of Shadows. This game is all about one thing: choice. And those choices have some serious consequences, especially when the black suit is involved. The game starts with a full-on symbiote invasion of New York City, and it's up to you to sort it all out. The core mechanic of this game is the ability to switch between Spidey's classic red and blue suit and the aggressive, all-powerful black symbiote suit on the fly. Mid-combo, mid-air, whenever you want. The red suit was your classic agile Spider-Man, all about speed and aerial grace. But the black suit? Oh, the black suit was about pure, unadulterated power. You'd use these massive symbiote tendrils to just demolish everything in your path. It was so satisfying to just let loose and cause absolute mayhem. This duality was woven into the story itself. The game had a morality system where your actions and dialogue choices would push you towards being a hero or something much darker. Who you chose to align with, whether it was heroes like Luke Cage or anti-heroes like Black Cat, would change the story and the ending. It really made you feel the corrupting influence of the symbiote, tempting you with more power at every turn. It was a fantastic way to explore that classic inner conflict that Peter Parker faces in the comics. And for the comic fans, this game was a buffet of symbiote goodness. It wasn't just Venom, the entire city was infested. But the best part, it featured symbiote versions of other Marvel characters. Fighting a symbiote Wolverine with his claws extended by symbiote tendrils? Yes, please. It was insane, it was over the top, and it was everything a fan of the darker Spider-Man stories could ask for. For letting us truly walk the line between light and dark, Web of Shadows is an unforgettable symbiote-fueled power trip. Coming in at number 4 is a game that proved the mask could be passed on and be just as amazing. We're talking about the spectacular, the sensational Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. After the incredible success of the first Insomniac game, the pressure was on for Miles' solo adventure, and boy did it deliver. This game is a beautiful, heartfelt story about a new hero finding his footing and learning what it means to be Spider-Man for his own community. What makes this game shine is Miles himself. He's not just a reskin of Peter Parker. He feels completely different to play, and it's brilliant. He has his own swagger, his own animations, his own unique powers. The Venom powers, that bioelectricity, completely change the flow of combat. Zapping enemies with a Venom punch, clearing a room with a massive Venom smash feels so good. It adds this explosive, powerful new layer to the fighting that is just incredibly fun to master. And that's not all. He also has his camouflage ability, which totally changes the stealth sections. You can go invisible, reposition, and take down enemies one by one like a true ninja. It makes you feel like a different kind of Spider-Man, more of a predator in a way. The combination of his electric powers and his invisibility makes for some of the most stylish and creative combat and stealth in any superhero game, period. It's a perfect representation of how he's different from Peter in the comics. Beyond the gameplay, the game is a love letter to Miles' comic book origins. The story is centered around his home of Harlem, his family, and his culture. It feels personal and authentic. And the suits, oh my god, the suits. From his classic comic book, look to the incredible Into the Spider-Verse suit, which even animates on a lower frame rate to match the movie. The attention to detail is just insane. It's a game that honors its hero's roots while pushing him forward into the spotlight he so rightly deserves. At number 3, we have a game that honestly often gets overlooked but is an absolute blast of co-op fun. Let's show some love for Spider-Man, friend or foe. This game took a completely different approach. It wasn't a sprawling open-world epic. It was a beat-em-up, a brawler, designed to be played with a buddy. Pure, simple, chaotic fun. The premise is brilliant comic book nonsense. A mysterious villain uses meteor shards tied to the symbiotes to mind control a bunch of villains. Nick Fury recruits Spider-Man to travel the globe, beat them up, and then recruit them to your team. Yes, you heard me right. You beat up villains like Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, and they become your playable sidekicks. Ultimate frenemies simulator, and honestly, hilarious. The whole game is playable in co-op, one person as Spidey, the other as an ally or reformed villain. Team up with Prowler, Iron Fist, or even Venom and lay the smackdown on hordes of enemies. Each character has unique moves and abilities, so you can mix and match your team for crazy combos. Fighting side by side with Green Goblin on his glider? Totally a what-if level team-up. The art style is stylized and cartoony, fitting the lighthearted tone perfectly. It didn't take itself too seriously. That was its strength. It's about the joy of teaming up with a massive roster and smashing stuff. It celebrates the entire Spider-Man universe, heroes, villains, and offers a fresh, fun take on the formula. For its wonderfully weird premise and fantastic co-op action, Friend or Foe is a hidden gem. Our runner-up, at number 2, is the game that, wow, blew our minds with its creativity and ambition. A game that brought the multiverse to the forefront long before the movie. I'm talking about Spider-Man, Shattered Dimensions. This game was a comic book fan's ultimate fantasy. The tablet of order and chaos has shattered, scattering its pieces across realities. It's up to not one, but 4 different Spider-Men to fix it. Each Spider-Man played completely differently with unique worlds. First, the Amazing Spider-Man, a modern comic world. Amazing, web-swinging, and classic combat. Then Spider-Man Noir, gritty 1930s, black and white, noir, stealth, shadows, and silent takedowns. Then Spider-Man 2099, futuristic cyberpunk Miguel O'Hara, 2099, high-speed aerial combat and an accelerated vision slowdown. And finally, Ultimate Spider-Man, bonded with the symbiote for the whole game. Ultimate, chaotic, rage-fueled combat where you unleash absolute hell. Each dimension had its own art style. Each dimension had its own music. Each dimension had its own versions of classic villains, like a noir version of Hammerhead, or a 2099 version of Scorpion. The game kept switching things up, always surprising you. It was a celebration of Spider-Man's vast, diverse history. For creativity and giving us 4 games in one, Shattered Dimensions is a multiverse masterpiece. And here we are, at number 1, the top of the mountain, the king of the swing. The game that took everything we love about Spider-Man and made it bigger, better, and more emotional than ever before. Of course, I'm talking about the phenomenal Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Where do I even begin? Insomniac looked at their first 2 masterpieces and said, "We can do better." And they did. This game is the definitive Spider-Man experience. First off, you get to play as Peter Parker, Miles Morales. You can switch between them almost instantly in the open world. That alone is incredible. One minute you're Peter, grappling with the responsibilities of the veteran hero. The next, you're Miles, soaring through the city with his own style and energy. The map is bigger, web swinging is faster. They added the web wings, glide at insane speeds. Traversal is utter perfection, it's pure liquid fun, but the story is where this game becomes a legend. It's a deeply emotional, mature tale. It tackles Peter's struggle with the symbiote, terrifying and heartbreaking. The black suit gameplay is a visceral, brutal power fantasy. You feel the rage, the loss of control. You slam enemies into the ground with symbiote tendrils. It's gameplay that reads like the best comic book storylines. And the fan service, my god, it overflows. Kraven the Hunter, Lizard, Venom, epic, city-shaking arrival. Every moment feels like a major comic book event. Side quests, collectibles, costumes, decades of Spider-Man history. A game made with so much love and respect for the source material. For its incredible story, its flawless gameplay, and for being the ultimate love letter to all things Spider-Man. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is the #1 Spider-Man game for any comic book fan. And that's our list. What an incredible journey through Spider-Man's gaming history. From the blocky beginnings on the PS1 to the cinematic masterpieces of today, it's been one hell of a ride. These games have let us swing through New York, fight our favorite villains, and truly understand what it means to wear the mask. It just goes to show how timeless and beloved this character is, and how much passion developers have poured into bringing his world to life for us to enjoy. What do you guys think? Did your favorite game make the list? Did I miss one that you think is the absolute best? Let me know down in the comments below. I read all of them, and I love hearing what you all have to say. And hey, if you had fun today, if you enjoyed geeking out about Spidey with me, then you know what to do. Punch that like button in the face like a boss. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Thank you all so much for watching. It means the world to me that you hang out and spend your time here. We've got plenty more superhero goodness coming your way very soon, so stay tuned for that. But until next time, stay awesome, keep gaming, and I will see all you dudes in the next video.